Hi guys, I'm Zen. Welcome to Zoologist Network. Today I'm going to teach you how to classify animals. Before I tell you how to classify animals, I tell you what it means. Now, in order to talk about different animals, we gotta classify them. We gotta separate them into different groups. So that's classifying. Starting with what I'm going to tell you next. We'll start with the biggest, the most general group of animals. No, not animals, but living things. Eukaryotes, which are animals and plants. Bacteria, which is bacteria. And then there's archaea, which are cells, which are not eukaryotic cells. The ones that are not eukaryotic or bacteria. Let's talk about kingdoms. So, kingdoms are the second taxonomical broad generalized category. So, kingdoms include animals, plants, fungi, bacteria, archaebacteria. Those are your kingdoms. So, taxonomy is the process of that scientists use to classify species, like we're talking about now. We're talking about taxonomy. After calling them a phylum, after looking at kingdoms, what do you think they do next? Something called a phylum, which is the next taxonomical rank. So the phylum is separated into their mollusks, like your clams, there's your clams, your octopus, and your snails. There's your annelids, which are your worms, segmented worms, nematodes, which are your other worms, tapeworms. These all different worms. They're not in the same family though. They're separate. They're all separate, not even close. And then we have your subphylum, which is another phylum that they all run into, which is more broad, invertebrata, which are all your invertebrates, which mean your spiders, your crabs, even a bee. Those are also your arthropods, which are speaking of those, crabs, butterflies, spiders, etc. And then we have your chordata, which are your vertebrates, like you and me. We even have, like you and me, we have a chordata, or subphylum vertebrata, have a back, have a backbone, kind of like I do, even kind of like human beings do. So just like lions, mammals have it. We're gonna get to the classes next. Birds, reptiles, fish, sharks. Sharks are fish. Birds, reptiles, fish, even mammals. We're gonna talk about what all those are in a second. Now for the next taxonomical rank, the class. Class is another further. The class is a third taxonomical rank. Now we have the mammals. Now we have the mammals, the birds, the insects, the reptiles, amphibians, and frog and fish. We also have snails. We also have cephalopods, which are the octopus. Look at episode 30. For all three mollusks, look at episode 24. We have the we have starfish even, and then we have our insects. And then we have our crustaceans, which are crabs, lobsters, etc. Let's talk about orders. So orders are the next highest, the next highest, and and what I and and then there's the chimpanzees. Like like primates. There's rodents, primates, carnivores. There's rodents, which are your mice, rats, porcupines, something like all that stuff. Then we have carnivores, which are your dogs, cats, and bears. Proboscidea, which are your elephants, aardvarks, and hyraxes. I'll talk about those another time. Then we have our marsupials, which are your koalas and kangaroos. Then then another one, they're your primates, which are your monkeys and all them. And not to mention your lagomorphs, which are your bunny rabbits. Now back to Chase. So there you can also there are also suborders. There's also suborders, which are your which are your different animals you which are they're your suborders, like which are lower class supporting orders. Kind of like, let's say the chimpanzee. The kingdom is animate. We're gonna classify it just as far as we've come before. Kingdom is animals. Phylum is vertebrate. Chordata, chordates. Remember that means backbone. Class is their mammals, and then their primates, and then their suborder is Halforini. We'll talk about the next order next. We'll talk about family, not like a family, but a family that of animals. A family of animals is animals that look like they're having something in common under that order or suborder. Like let's say the order Carnivora, and we're talking about Feliforma, the suborder. Now the suborder is Feliforma, right? So we have our Felidae cats, the cat family, and then we have our house cat, which is the cat you keep at home, lions, and tigers. Those are all in the same family, but they separate them based on but they're separated based on the fact that they look like cats. Same applies to dogs. Did you know that dogs and bears are very closely related to each other? That's right. They are in the suborder Caniforma, but they're just separated into Canidae and Ursidae. Ursidae is the bear family. Canidae is the dog family. But I know, but I'm gonna talk about hyenas now. Hyenas are not part of the dog family. They are part of the suborder Feliforma. Back to families. There's also subfamilies too, called, let's take pigs. Artiodactyla, the order for animals such as with even-toed ungulates, which are hoofed animals. There's the pig, the giraffe, the cow, the sheep. All those are related, but cow, sheep, and goats are in the family Bovidae, and pig, the pig is in the subfamily Suinae. So hippos do not really belong to the pig family, but they're called suborders Suinae. They're closely related to pigs. They're not even in the pig family, not even close. They're closely related, but not in the same family. So just made out of pigs, warthogs, like the Pumbaa and Lion King, and a babirusa, which is another type of pig with weird tusks. They look like a warthog. It lives in Asia. So there are those. Now there's peccaries, which are like little pigs that aren't really pigs. They're not pigs, but they belong to the suborder Suinae. Like the hippopotamus. Those look like pigs, that's why they're called Suinae. Even even elephants. Not elephants. I won't talk about elephants right now, but I'm not gonna talk about elephants right now, but I'll talk about So you see the idea I'm getting at, where they say subfamily, suborder, and orders and families. See, I'm sure you do. Let's talk about the genus, which is the next taxonomical rate. So there's, let's say we're talking about gorilla. Let's say we're talking about cat, like wolves or dogs. Even dogs. Dogs are from the same genus species. Let's talk about dogs. So I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna go by all the kingdoms that we just went by. So there's the on dogs. We're gonna talk about starting with dogs. Kingdom. The kingdom is animal. The dog is an animal. The phylum dogs are vertebrates. That's the phylum. Then there's the class, which is a mammal. Dogs are mammals. Dogs are also belong to the order carnivora. Suborder Caniforma. Then there's Canidae, the family. Then the genus Canis. That's it's about to we're about to talk about the species. That's the first part of the scientific name. Scientific name is always said Canis lupus. Lupus is a species, which I'm going to talk about next, or genus species. Let's talk about the species. This is the last taxonomical rate. So species like are the last or that's how you're saying it specifically. End. So let's say the panda. Let's say pandas for example. They're or let's say even better, let's say lions. So there's the genuses animals, chordata or vertebrate, or and we'll talk about the and we have the class, the mammal. The lion is a mammal. Order, Felidae. Suborder, Feliforma. And then there's the family, Felidae. Then the genus, Panthera. Now Panthera is there's Panthera leo, which is the lion. Panthera tigris, which is tiger. Panthera onca, which is the jaguar. Those are your scientific names. They're in Latin, so to be more specific. Thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, passion is a gateway to success. Always remember to follow your dreams. I'll see you next time in episode 77. Bye bye.